What's up, everybody?
It's your boy.
It's your boy. This is the pre-Blue Heaven podcast. I am Kevin. With me, as always, is Fat Ryan Gosling.
Hey,
over here to my right. To my left, we have Dodgers Nation senior editor Brooke Smith.
What's going on, fellas?
And he's the youngest one here.
I
He's
am.
the
He is
senior.
the
I
youngest
am.
one here.
The
Senior
senior
at
young
heart.
boy.
Yeah. He has really, really bad congestive heart failure, I think
Yeah.
it is.
He
Or
does.
getting there.
Aging
This
very
is
quickly.
this is really just a Make-A-Wish thing. Is he wanted to be on the show with us? So.
One last time.
One last time.
Oh, wait. Are you making a big announcement? Are you taking your talents to South Beach?
No, I don't have any talents. So
There you go.
I would take them to
Fair
South
enough.
Beach.
Anyways, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, and I think YouTube. We also got YouTube.
Yes.
Anybody that's out there, thanks for hanging out. We're eventually going to start our normal podcast in a bit, and it's going to be a little bit less interactive, but we'll still get some opinions. We want to talk about
Yes.
things,
Stuff.
things.
We
and
want
stuff.
to talk about Dodgers stuff.
The baseballs.
Yeah, there was
All the baseball stuffs.
a couple of moves went down today.
Yeah, yeah. There's actually some stuff going on. So when we get into the show, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some pitching grades for the
Yeah.
season. I've got a bone to pick with this guy over here, FRG, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna talk a little bit about bobbleheads, some other fun stuff on the show. But first, we want to take your questions before we really get going, and give some shout outs here.
Yeah, so send us your area codes. I guess you know what I can throw up the little buffer right here. This guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
By the way, I love
There
that
it
somebody
is.
on Facebook, Abel Diaz, says Pedro Guerrero, because it's always a good time
What
for
it
Pedro
paid like?
Guerrero.
Did
It's
we?
always Pedro Guerrero o'clock.
Here, we've got a
Guerrero.
question already from
Guerrero.
Andrew Lane on Facebook. He wants to know what outfielders return for 2019 and is Tolles staying. One, you should go listen to our episode from last week because we did talk a little bit about Andrew Tolles.
I don't remember what we talked about.
But
yeah, we gave our outfield grades and kind of talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who we think will be back, but you want to take it?
Yeah, I think everybody except...
Be deep. Take it deep. You know.
Hold on.
There you
I
go.
think everybody except Jock. I think Jock is trade bait, and I think possibly Verdugo as well. I'm worried that Puig might be gone, which I really don't want. I think Puig needs to be signed to an extension. Yeah, I think most likely it's Verdugo and Peterson in some sort of trade.
Yeah, it depends on really who's coming back. There was one we're going to get into it more in a bit, like the actual part of our content of the show.
Yes.
But I guess there's a little bit of some conversations going on between Cleveland and Los Angeles about their catcher Yan Gomes and possibly swapping him for Peterson because they need outfield help.
They do.
In Cleveland, pretty bad. And that was what I think we everybody's kind of gravitated towards Cervelli, if not Real Muto, and looking at Yan Gomes. I mean, that's a prime stopgap guy.
That's a great fit for the team. Really is.
Uh-huh.
And I've been
Producer
saying for
agrees.
years now that Jock Peterson was going to get traded. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick to it again this
I
year.
like
and say
it.
He's gone by the start of spring training.
Stay the
So,
course.
Yeah.
Be consistent. He
He's-
keeps proving me wrong.
He's taken Blue and himself and those talents to, I don't know. They
Anywhere.
don't have beaches up there in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He wants to just be closer to our friend Clint Evans in Ohio.
Yes.
That's true. Friend
Shout
of the
out. Shout out, friend of the show, Clint Evans.
All right.
Rest in peace, buddy.
We do have some other questions. We got some shout outs. We're going to shout out Randy, I'm sorry. Randy in the 409.
Randiel.
I don't know where the hell the 409 is, but
What's going on, 409? Thanks for hanging
Formula
out.
409. That has helped me clean a multitude of surfaces in my house.
And
So
how.
thank
There
you
you
for
go.
that.
Yeah.
We got Jim Gill sending his entire zip code to us, so I appreciate
All
that.
right.
You know,
That's great.
Fine. That works. I don't know where the 85254 is, but it's probably
You let us know in the comments below.
Somewhere.
Or the side. I don't
Gary
know.
Carbo wants to know from the 323, does he think the Dodgers are really going to go after Bryce Harper? No. No, there's no need for him. There's already a glut in the outfield.
Yeah, we're talking about who's going to be back next season.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't really finish the question, but somebody also asked here, Nancy Brown 562, why trade Verdugo after protecting him for so long? You got to give up something to get something, and if you're able to get some of the guys from Cleveland, they have a glut of ace level pitching, and their window seems to be pretty much closed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
They
It's
lost
close for
their
sure.
they lost their prime relievers and all that. So if you're able
Yeah.
to pull a Carrasco and their catcher for say like an Alex Wood and a Jock Peterson, you start to
you
start to
immediately do that deal.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
help our team immediately because granted we also have a soup ton of pitchers, starting pitchers.
Yeah.
But then now you have
exactly.
the ability to trade some other guys. Like I'll probably bring up later on in the real show here that I don't know, not by his own fault and not because I don't like him, but I don't know how much longer Kenta Maeda might be a Dodger. He doesn't have a clearly defined role on this team. Did
Although
I make it?
I would argue
missed it,
you
didn't I?
missed it, but I would argue that's helpful in the current MLB is having the ability to kind of float around to being a starter or being a starter when we need him to, being in the relief in the bullpen when we need him to. We do have a real good question here that I think we're going to get into during the show.
What did you yank? Oh,
I'm not sure.
You pulled the what's it called? You pulled the questions, but we got not Maximus. You got to plug the Chingay back in.
Yeah.
We lost us in our ears. It's not terribly important for you guys.
We don't
but,
need to hear each other anyways.
I have Huntington Beach,
No
Vanessa.
idea what
What's
this
going
is.
on?
I don't know how things work.
He doesn't understand how connections work. We apologize.
I don't know how things work. Oh, there I am. All right.
808.
The question was about would we give up Bellinger for Real Muto?
No.
Oh, wow. No?
Absolutely not.
It really
Okay.
depends. If it's like straight up, I would consider it. Like, I would have to have had a really nice night's sleep and woke up to some of just the best coffee in the world. Like some really, really good coffee, but and breakfast in bed and whatever else. But yeah, no, I don't see that move being the most smartest move. And again, we're probably going to talk about this again during the real.
I don't see it
the
being a
real
good
show.
move for Miami.
No, yeah.
I think that's a waste.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
do you need him to be an outfielder there too? Because do they still have Bohr? They still have Justin Bohr, I think.
He went to Philadelphia. Now he's on waivers. So
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
Philly needs.
spent a
I gotta
good,
pay more
10 games
attention to
in
Miami.
Philly. nobody pays attention to Miami.
Wait, so Philly already had like a first baseman trying to play elsewhere that did not work.
They're like, let's get another one.
Let's get another
That
one.
guy might work
Hey,
out. Now he's on waivers.
and everybody in Philly's like, good job, Philly.
Someone's asking why we think Puig might be traded. I would say that he has been very consistent over the last 2 years. He's obviously a plus defender.
Yeah.
And then the simple fact that he has shown over the last 2 years that he turns up his game in the playoffs.
Man, that dude was
yeah.
legend. And by the way, I just turned up the volume, guys. So sorry if we got louder for you, but I saw we weren't peaking very high. So just turn down those volumes a little bit. We don't want to blow out your ear holes. I love the Puig. He's definitely on the trading block, sort of, if you can get better. But YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
Klein 25 would love the Dodgers to add Segura. He's from the 805, or she is from the 805.
All right.
Gene Segura makes sense. I mean, that's a really good player. Seattle's kind of notoriously blowing it out, it seems like.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
But they also seem like they have a number of problems,
They
other
do.
problems going on over there.
Well, and Segura was an MVP candidate for a good
Yeah.
portion of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a damn good player. I'd love to have him. I just don't want to give up a bunch to get him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's-
Yeah, we don't know what to expect from Seattle right now either.
No.
They're shopping everybody, but
Yeah.
who knows what they're gonna do? They got Cano with
agree.
his $20 million a year contract still left. So
Yeah,
That's
if you could
true.
find a way to package him with Diaz and send a decent package back. I mean, Diaz is still pre-arb arbitration eligible, so I mean that's honestly kind of your closer of the future.
Here's
It
the thing,
is,
guys. Peterson for Trout, right?
Oh,
that the-
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard that trade offer?
If the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim don't take that trade,
That's
So we
what I'm
got-
saying. That's a bad one from. Actually, our friend AJ asked, "Would we prefer Clevenger or Carrasco?" I'm gonna say Carrasco.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Clevenger because I like his hair.
Oh, that's reasonable.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's good.
He's got that young Jacob deGrom look to him.
That's a good point.
That's about it.
I'm changing my answer.
Not as poofy.
I'm going hair.
What about the Klubot? I mean, he's getting closer to like ending his time there.
Yeah, I think
Corey
he's
Kluber.
been one that's been kind of linked to the Dodgers quite a bit this offseason.
However, Kluber's kind of sort of another Kershaw type.
Yeah,
He is.
Kluber soups the bed in the
MVP.
playoffs.
Cy Young, where you at in the playoffs? Yeah, boy.
I've heard a lot of people in the organization though are more inclined towards letting Trevor Bauer walk because he is such a wild card. And
Yeah.
no one knows what to expect from him ever.
Yeah.
Because he is a very strange personality that seems like he
he's
could
a-
clash with ownership. He's a little out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, he's the guy that wants 1-year contracts because he's nuts.
Sign him. Sign Machado.
There you go.
Sign Harper.
You got the team
Boom.
of crazies.
So Hugo, hold on, I
ahead.
got one. Hugo
Yeah.
Fontana says, "Would you guys do Whit Merrifield for Max Muncy?" 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with Max Muncy if it meant that.
Yeah.
We are trading. We have a package together. Brooke Smith, friend of the show.
I can't do
and
much,
Max.
but
that plus that Max Muncy shirt.
I
right
would
there.
I would agree to that trade before they actually finish saying Max Muncy.
We're in. We're on board.
I don't care. Whoever.
Yeah.
We-
Actually, speaking of that, Jeff Roosh asks Max Muncy trade value while it's at its highest.
You know, we've
I would
talked
do it.
about this several
Yeah.
times, even
Yes.
just in our own personal Slack channel with the team. I did an article last year about trading Chris Taylor at his peak value. I got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
come
Look how right
come-
you were for the first 2-3 months of the
right.
season.
Come
Yeah.
June or July, somebody crept back into my mentions from a year later, and they were like, "You were right. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he caught fire a little bit here and there.
Well, he's
and
he's a good playoff guy though.
He
And
is.
then- and then I
he
think we-
shows up.
plays up.
I think we
Shows
traded
up.
him to Japan for like a week or something.
Right. Him and
We
PK
did.
went to Japan with
Yeah, with the
Kenta.
quote unquote all stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though didn't
Interesting team.
we
Yeah.
lose like 3 of the games?
I
We
think
did.
we lost most of them.
USA.
Those-
I think
Yeah,
it was
those
like a
Japanese
5-game
guys, man.
series, but they play all of them regardless
Oh,
of how many
it
people win,
doesn't
and we
matter,
lost
yeah.
like 4-1.
Irregardless.
Oh yeah. I think they let us have the last one or
I
something.
think
don't
they
know.
did something like that. Yeah, yeah. There were no actual all stars on that all-star team.
There were not. No.
So we again send us your area codes. We want to give shout outs for. We'll probably hang out doing questions for a little bit longer. Then we got our real show to do, and
Yes.
there's a bunch of the same content, same topics we want to get in there. Diamond Hoggers on Twitter says, "My darling Brooke." Not creepy at all, Evans. Not creepy at all.
Yeah.
All right.
Solid, man.
We want to shout out our friend Littlefoot on Twitter. What's going on?
Hey,
Little
Littlefoot.
foot.
She's not attacking me this time. I think that was the one who savagely attacked me at Black Hawk Bend. She's
Oh.
cool. She's cool. She's good people.
Matthew
Perfect.
King on Facebook wants us to trade Jock Barnes.
Jock Barnes.
I'm not sure who Jock
Friend
Barnes.
of
Jock
the
Barnes
show.
and
Does he mean
Rios.
both of them?
I'm
or-
thinking that he means both of them, but I'm telling you,
Jock
commas
word-
are very, very important, people.
Jockward Sam
Grammar.
Barnesington.
Very true.
Barterson. Barterson. Friend of the show. SC Greenland 27 and 808. What starting pitcher will we sign, and will we go after a strong closer? I don't see us going out and signing anybody pitcher wise on the open market. Strong closer, we allegedly have one in Kenley.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
yeah. Allegedly.
I've been saying that we need to add like fringe guys. Well, not fringe guys, but people that can help them out. Like
People
Andrew
who literally
Miller.
live on the fringe of
Yes,
society.
yeah.
Real, literal
Yeah,
outsiders.
people that live in a trailer. So we're going after Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
Closer, Trevor Bauer.
Closer Trevor Bauer.
Hey.
Oh god, that worked out well for the Indians.
So Matthew King, trade Jock, Barnes, and Rios with a pitcher.
That was the same guy that I just brought up.
I wasn't paying attention. But
But we're
wait,
talking
what are
about
we
it.
doing?
Here, I'm shouting out to people. 613, the 909, the 517 in Michigan, apparently. The 323, the 831 up in NorCal.
That's
the
from
916.
Is our friend of the show, Gong.
There you go.
Not Maximus says, "Oof, no Greg Bergman." Yeah, no, he's not doing this. All right, he doesn't care enough about you in the offseason.
That was actually Bergman's burner account.
Yeah, that's Bergman's burner account. That's all that we want Greg Bergman wants.
Bergman's like, "Oh no, Bergman, I'm gonna go watch Lakers Raw."
I'm not watching this if I'm not on it.
Would we call that a Bergner account?
Bergner.
Bergner.
Bergner
Okay.
account.
Very
Yeah,
good.
we'll give you
Very
a couple
good.
of points for that.
217 Springfield, Illinois.
I saw
How
that.
you doing, Brian?
Oh wow.
Ooh, D. Gordon for Jock.
D.
That's an
Gordon's on the.
interesting
Oh
trade.
wait, no. wait. So
And it
we
says
already
909.
we already gave.
Well,
Hey, welcome 99. Wait, didn't we already give away D. Gordon? Why are we gonna give him away to get our own player?
It's all part of the
Also,
plan.
please, the D. Gordon, no. I already said no to everybody. No, D. Gordon is
Yeah.
not the answer.
We will take him for free, however.
we will, yeah. If he wants to show up for free.
If
And
he wants to steal some bases. Or,
Yeah.
we haven't had a base stealer in a while, so that'd be cool.
That's good.
No,
point.
he seems
Come
like
off the bench. I
he
don't
seems
know.
like he's getting more angry, like in on social media about things.
Well, he's all roided out.
No,
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the
Yeah,
roids in a while.
he's having like withdrawals or something.
We've all been there. Wait, I think There's another one. Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, does Evans have his own burner account? Because I saw another My Darling Brooke. Evans quoting his own burner account. 123 Kowski, friend of the show. What's going on, Kowski? So I can only be online for a few more minutes. Wifey time. Watching News Marina. Get me a beer. You know what? Get Brooke a beer too.
Get me a beer,
Clint
please.
a beer. You know what? Kowski just won game night. I think he just won stream night.
Hold on. We've got an important one here from Daniel Gonzalo. Vendo tamales listos para el Thanksgiving.
Oh, heck yeah.
So,
Down with
yes.
it.
Sas.
Yes.
Mira,
Please
mira,
up, Daniel.
sas.
slide into our DMs, Daniel, because I need to be buying some tamales here pretty soon.
At DMs.
So
We
I
will
am
eat them live.
So down. Yes.
Live.
Oh, we doing like a
all
mukbang?
about
Yeah.
all
you
about
guys
the
in,
holiday
you guys in for
tamales.
some like
Yeah, the ASMR videos.
yeah
where you're just eating
ASMR
the whole time.
mukbang.
There you go.
Our friend Tim, SD Dodger, D. Gordon has a bad contract. Absolutely has a bad
Oh, he
contract. He
absolutely
can't
does.
get on base. Basically, it was the same stuff that was his problems back in the day, back when he was a doyer. So, yeah.
You know, the move that people aren't talking about that we could really easily make is to get our to get a knuckle curve pitcher, Gary Lee, who's a free agent right now, out there on the market. So it depends on what you guys think.
It doesn't cost very much either.
He
Yeah,
won't
no,
cost the whole. I mean, honestly, you just supply him with a couple Dodger dogs a game, and he'll play for the team. So
There you
you
go.
bring him out of the bullpen.
and he's a moderately adequate producer.
There it is. There you go. Well done.
Friend of the show.
Well done. So we got a question here from Tina. Oh boy, that's
Tina
a tough
Turner?
last name. Tina Gaman.
Oh, G-Man.
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 Does
What's going on,
Urias
G-Man?
become a starter this season?
Yes.
Urias,
Yes.
Urias.
Yes. I think
Urias.
that's
If
100%
he's not a
what we
starter,
want.
then he's a waste of talent. It doesn't make sense to not
No.
have him starting games.
Yeah.
And
He's
we
gonna have to build up to it, and
Yeah.
start of the season, I fully expect to see him either in the minor leagues or in the bullpen. But he will definitely be a full-time starting pitcher by the
Don't
end
go
of the
breaking
season.
my
I was gonna say,
Unless
what would you think
his
by
shoulder
May or
blow
June?
up. Oh, it'll be early for
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
You know, most people didn't expect Bueller to be in the rotation at all
That's
last
a
year,
good point.
if not until the end of the season, and literally the entire starting rotation fell apart.
Yeah,
That was supposed to
that's
be
a good
the
point.
deepest starting rotation in all of baseball, and it proved to be.
Touche.
It
It
proved to be,
did.
because we
Wasn't
needed
a
all
great one,
35
but it was
of them.
deep.
Yeah.
We needed 35 of them, but they were there.
Well, here, one last question that I want to be able to show from Taylor Spencer over here.
Taylor
who
Swift,
should
friend of the show.
who should we get for hitting coach and GM? So do you guys have
Are they doing
on
the
your
one
wish
same
list?
job?
One
Yeah, is that
position.
Yeah,
one
you got to
guy?
do one.
That's
You got to have a
entertaining.
hitting coach slash.
What is
I
that?
got
What is
it.
the kid from Little Big League?
I got
That
dibs.
guy in there.
I got dibs. No, I can handle that.
All right, let's go. Go for it.
Third base coach, or I'm hitting coach. All right, guys, do that.
Hit the
He's
ball.
not hitting. Trade him. He didn't listen to me.
Get him
Trade
outta
him.
here.
Yeah,
Do we have a wish list though? Even if it's not for a hitting coach, but for a GM.
I don't.
Hitting coach, I feel like you could promote from
There's
within
yeah,
because
yeah.
they already
well,
have
both.
a good.
Anybody that's
Yeah.
going to take the positions is going to be internal. There's
I think
yeah.
GM is going to be from within. I
Yeah,
don't think they're
Josh
gonna
Burns
go
is there.
outside.
They have other
Yeah.
young
Right.
guys. It's not going to be Kim Ing as much as she's deserving of the job
She
and
really
has
is.
been for the
She
last
is.
15 years.
That's a good point.
It's not going to be her, unfortunately. Plus, she's got a really good job with baseball as it is. Why get out of that to go move and I
True.
mean, I understand you want to be part of a front office and you know, one, you're revolutionizing the game for sure, and why not do it as a Dodger? We do that best, but I don't know. I feel like, well, I mean, the jury's out on her. She's never done the job, of course,
True.
and maybe the fact that she hasn't been in a front office a while. Like last time she was with us, it was still Ned Coletti. Like we want the more forward thinking. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
an analytics person or whatever.
True.
If she's too more old school with things.
Well,
but
she was an assistant under Coletti
yeah,
too.
Right.
yeah.
That's a tough
Plus,
gig.
yeah. Plus all the things that kind of went down under Coletti's
True.
Under his
tenure.
watch.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to throw out a wild card for the position. Sujo.
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 Friend
Sujo.
of the show. Actually,
Friend of the
I
show,
gotta
Sujo.
like hit her up already, and we haven't settled when we're gonna have her on the show, but it's gonna happen, guys. Friend of the show.
It is.
Uh,
Sujo, who, for those of you that don't know, runs the Dodgers social media account and does an amazing job.
Yeah, we'll
She
give her a
is
couple of points.
She
Literally
should be
one of
our
the
new
best
GM.
ever.
We got a
absolutely.
couple from SD Dodger again. He says Reggie Smith for hitting coach. He's already he's got a good gig doing it, and says would they let Mr. Gary Lee use his first baseman's glove on the mound? No, they're really rude about
They
that.
get really strict. I don't
guys,
know why.
guys, the real Grinch is here at the real Grinch on Periscope. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh,
Beltray for hitting coach. I love
Oh,
it.
Trey
I'm
for hitting
in.
coach.
Oh.
I'm
Yes.
about that. Wow.
I'm so down for that.
I think he might be a little bit busy.
Tell Magic Johnson to
sure.
sign LeBron James. We're right on it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh man.
2 contracts.
Hold on, let me text him real quick. Let me text Magic. Let's let him know.
Man, that's I wouldn't mind seeing Belly back. in that
Michael
one.
says, "Who loses 2 World Series in a row on their home field?" We do, Michael.
We do.
We do.
we
do.
You can find me in Pasadena. Michael.
Whose house?
At him.
Anyone else's house.
Yes. Oh man.
All right, so we are just about wrapping up the pregame aspect of our show here. We're going to start in just a second. We're
Yeah.
going to start our actual recorded podcast that we also broadcast simultaneously live.
Yep.
We're just like Chick Hearn back in the day when he used to simulcast the Laker games.
Or like
Well
pretty much
before
Chick
any
Hearn.
of you were
Yeah.
alive,
yeah,
I'm
like
sure.
Vin,
much
like
Chick
Vin
Hearn.
Scully and Ross Porter back when they used to
There you go.
simulcast the game
There you go.
and do their podcast.
and do their
And their
podcast at the same
the
time.
well-known podcast.
Exactly.
It's the Vin Scully podcast. Hi everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to
That was
you.
pretty good.
Bitches.
Yeah, I like that. Farmer John hot dog. All right.
This call of the bullpens brought to you by Farmer John.
Benz broadcast. booth.
All right, we are
Charlie.
going
Rick
to
and Charlie. All right, make it happen. I'm gonna
get
go ahead. And,
started.
I'm gonna make the clicking of the record. We're good.
This is Blue Heaven, the official Dodgers Nation podcast.
We needed a lot.
You're watching live or you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher or DodgersNation.com or anywhere you consume podcasts.
Yeah.
But feel free to
Nom nom.
subscribe and rate and tell us how terrible of a job that we are doing.
Yes.
We appreciate
We
it.
want those reviews, guys.
You can also hit us up on Instagram or Twitter. I am at Kev is your friend.
I am the real FRG, Fat Ryan Gosling, Clint, if you're nasty, over there joining us today.
Yes.
Friend of the show.
Literal
I
friend.
am the friend of the show. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Not a
am.
friend of
Tell-
either of us, but
Yeah.
the
No,
show
just the
itself
show,
as an
yeah.
inanimate
Tell
object,
people
yes.
who you are.
I am the senior editor
A senior editor.
of Dodgers Nation.
I am
right.
El Senor
It
Editor.
looks like you're reading something.
I am, yeah. I'm actually
Looks
not
like
paying
you're
attention to you guys at all.
I am this person.
I was
I
actually,
am senior editor.
You weren't expecting to
I
talk
was
yet.
actually looking at my Twitter handle because I forgot it.
Yeah, we always make fun of you for the Brook Me 3
At
because
Brook
you're
Me
like
3.
that was just the Twitter generated one for you.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
You couldn't get the Brook.Smith or Brook underscore Smith.
I was like, how could I get rid of that?
You know, I mean, yeah, it really like
I risk losing it now if I change it.
that is true.
You should
I mean,
actually change it to senior editor Brooke Smith.
At junior, senior editor.
I like
There
that.
you go.
the youngest senior editor in this year's history. We can
True.
only assume as much.
Faux show.
true.
So how about
So-
them Rams?
Oh my God! So I know this is a Dodgers show, but we have to discuss this real quick.
Wow.
That might have been the best freaking football game I have ever seen. And as a Rams fan, it was exciting,
more
but I
betters.
also almost died of a heart attack.
Yes.
But wow, what a game!
Yeah.
Highest scoring game in Monday Night Football history.
Yeah. As a Saints fan, I was pretty bored, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, that was a good game for just about any. I mean, we already saw so many people equate it to Game 5 of the World Series in 2017. Which,
Yeah.
if you didn't have a
yeah.
horse in that race, was
Was
an
an amazing
amazing baseball
Yeah.
game. Because,
Yeah.
If you did,
but if you did,
And
we
it was
were
the
crying.
Dodgers. And you wanted to take
Yeah.
that horse out back and shoot it and turn it into glue.
Yeah. Kershaw, not our friend in that game,
not our friend.
or
Not-
literally
not at all.
everybody else. But
No, but that
yeah.
was a hell of a game, and it's funny because I almost wished I didn't have a rooting interest
Yeah.
in it because I was worried that we were going to lose it. But wow,
Well, they
I mean,
tried to a couple of
They
times.
did. They tried
I mean,
to give it away a couple times.
As I said on Twitter, pitcher's duel.
Yeah, that
There.
was really
pitcher's
good.
duel at the Coliseum.
I mean, you talk about this. This was literally just the two best offenses in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and two of the best offenses I've ever seen. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is insane. He's a
Yeah.
freak of nature, but Jared Goff is apparently not a bust. So
no,
that's good.
He does not appear to be a bust. So
He
we'll
does
give him,
not appear to be a
We'll
bust.
give him a couple points. It helps when you do have Todd Gurley.
It does help, and although he
that?
wasn't
Some
super
guy.
effective last night.
It's Gurley,
but,
man.
But yeah, no, it was a great game.
I like, though, also on Twitter, our friend Diamond Hoggers giving us the guarantee lock
man.
lock of the year.
And go at him. It's at Diamond Hoggers.
Lock of the year that it would be, what was it, under 63?
Under 63 or something like that.
And
Yeah.
then that's what I told him.
When they
It's
score
like,
105.
105.
so I told him, is like, do you mean the total for the game? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the total for each team or something? Like,
He meant each quarter.
yeah, each
Yeah,
quarter
exactly.
was 63.
It would be under 63.
And if he said each team, it still would have been real close.
Yeah,
real
I feel
close.
like since since probably July, his credibility in his picks has gone
Oh,
down.
his picks
Yeah.
are
I
down a
blame me.
dive.
Yeah, I blame.
Ever since baseball ended.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
blame me.
Well, guys, we're a couple days away from Thanksgiving here,
That we is.
so that's exciting.
Is it?
I don't know, maybe. How do you feel about Thanksgiving? You're a guy who likes to eat.
I enjoy the whole eating part. I don't enjoy the whole having to deal with
Family.
the hell.
It's a pretty good
There's
turkey.
a turkey out
honestly.
back. So.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Well, there's one jive turkey. I tell
That
you
was
what.
one jive turkey.
Yeah, I mean the family, the meeting up with people, having to tell them what do you do now. Is like I don't know what. Oh, what's a podcast?
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, Grandma. Even though I don't see my grandma.
That's my favorite part. Oh, I hear you're working for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be fair,
Yeah.
a lot of people on the stream think we are the Dodgers.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Fair enough.
Touche.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, does your grandma call you FRG?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, she
I
does.
was wondering about that.
But she says it all out. She calls him Fat Ryan Gosling. She
Yeah,
doesn't-
she,
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
true. She's not hip to.
No,
shorten
that's
it
only
up.
when I'm in trouble. You come over, Fat Ryan Gosling. You get over here.
Oh, by the
Yes,
way,
she's Jewish.
I had to update you. I was gonna say I'm impressed.
She's a super old New York Jewish woman.
Perfect.
I had to update you because you're in my. I'm doing my Dodger season in my MLB The Show that I play at home.
Oh, nice.
And I literally have a fat Ryan Gosling on the team playing shortstop. You're about 5'6"
Shortstop.
and about 275 pounds.
Is that where it maxed out?
That's where it maxed out.
Okay, yeah.
But
Hey,
you're
screw
hitting,
you. I am a fine shortstop.
You're hitting 345
Hey.
with like 11 home runs here, and we're in
Over 9,000!
But actually,
and we're in
345.
mid-May,
45,
so
yeah.
Oh, so you're saying MVP lock?
easily.
Do you-
If I
do you-
wasn't hitting
do you
400.
lock that Diamond
Do
Augers?
you get the Clint Evans
Yeah.
guarantee on that one?
That's true.
He's already putting bets down on that.
Oh, man.
Well, on today's show,
I feel like we already lost everybody.
we have already lost everyone. We are going to give our 2018 grades. For those of you who watch the show or listen to the show regularly, you know that over the last few weeks we've been giving kind of season review grades. We did the infield, we did the outfield last week. We're doing the starting pitching rotation this week. So we're going to give our grades on that. I do have a bone to pick with FRG about an article he wrote on DodgersNation.com very recently. We're going to give bobbleheads that we want to see next year. But first,
we gotta update you on the offseason thus far. And I already saw on the stream somebody said, "Is there gonna be Dodger talk at some point?" Which was like, we probably already lost everybody.
I'm sure we did.
But there was a lot of big moves today with the Rule 5 draft coming. I think it was 5 o'clock is when it hit. You have to make your decisions on the 40-man roster. Who do you protect and all that. Dodgers made a couple of moves. We DFA'd a couple of guys, and Brooke, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry that we did. He's saying he wants the water.
yeah, thank you.
Use your indoor
I thought he was
voice.
telling me to drink it.
Yeah, drink the water. You sound hoarse. Your boy Tim Locastro was DFA'd. How
Yeah,
do you
we're
feel
really
about
sorry
this?
about
You know, it hurts. I feel it deep in my heart. But
Weren't you gonna do a player review?
I was. You know what?
Do it. Damn.
Damn the 40-man roster.
Damn
I'm still
40.
doing it. Someone told me to lump it in with all the lesser guys, but don't you dare call him a lesser guy.
I think that was me.
That was you.
I was telling you do that. I mean that's a great article with Tim Locastro and Breivik Valera.
Yeah, that's
Friend of the show. But Eric Goodell, the commissioner, was DFA'd.
Yeah.
Zach Roskup, much to the chagrin of our friend Bergman. Locastro, and then they gave Tom Kohler his release, which was odd because I thought he only had signed for a 1-year deal. I'm pretty sure Kohler thought he signed for a 1-year deal.
I'm pretty sure too.
Because he posted on his Instagram like, "Oh, sorry it didn't work out, Los Angeles," as he had like the moving truck leaving the house and everything. Most
I think he
importantly-
probably did, but they were so annoyed that he was injured the entire year and didn't pitch a game for him that they're like, no, we're releasing you.
His contract wasn't actually up until November 30th.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, we just
You're
wait.
gone.
Like,
Well, they
nope.
needed the space, honestly. They now the roster's at 40 because they added 5 guys, which is fine.
No,
for
they
a-
added in and out.
Oh, that's what Hammer's
yeah.
all about.
Yeah. They got
The
Hebert,
most-
Yadier Alvarez, Matt Beatty, Edwin Rios, and
Jacob Spores.
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 Yeah, obviously the biggest name there is Keibert Ruiz.
Yeah.
People are like, well, why are you adding him now? Well, there's a certain amount of time. He's already been in the minor leagues for
Yeah.
so long, so they have to protect him because you don't want to let that guy go. Analysis here. You don't want
Yeah.
to let him go, but
Wait,
a lot.
what? You don't want to let the number one catcher in the system go?
I think there's still going to be a number of moves. We're definitely going to see a number of moves happen because again, you're at the 40-man limit right now, so you need to make some moves. If you're going to bring anybody else aboard, like you Harper people want. But I would be kind of surprised to see Yimi Garcia survive much longer.
I forgot he was on the team still.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can we DFA Liberator twice? He's not even on the roster, but
I
can
don't
we
know
just
where he is now.
Can we extra
Yeah,
DFA
seriously.
him?
I think he just got kicked out of baseball.
Yeah, like
Poor
do
guy.
better.
He was part of a no-hitter, and now he's
I know.
now he's nowhere.
They're just gonna repossess his house, just like they're just really going in on Libertor.
Do better. Oh man, but that was those are the big moves for the day.
Yeah. Well, and then another big news was that Kenley Jansen is set for heart surgery.
Yep.
Taking the advice of noted weight loss guru FRG over here.
Absolutely.
He is losing weight.
Yeah, I mean, I use the tips that I got from other notorious weight loss guru, Tommy Lasorda. But
true.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Homeboy Kenley, he's putting in work. He's been busting hump in the gymnasiatorium.
Which is great. That's exactly what that's what he needs for his health, but two, that's
Word
what he
is
needs for
He's
pitching
already
purposes.
word is he's already lost 11 pounds.
That's a lot in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, he's going to put it all back on after, that's the whole thing with his heart surgery. It's not like full-blown crazy, you guys craziness. You're crazy. That's my Bergman. I always got to do
That's
that.
a good Bergman.
Hey, man, Disney, hit me up.
I call you FRB. That was real good.
That's what a hamburger. No, but the thing I was just talking about that escapes my mind. Oh, Bergman. Bergman does it. No. Every time.
Man,
So-
you are a mess.
Well, I ran out of my rock
just-
star.
I just want to be in your mind one day.
Hey,
Just-
things
scary place.
Things
it
were
sounds
still,
like a real frightening place.
things were still happening now. So there's pretty much, what is it, 2 scenarios on Kenley's heart
Yes.
surgery. It'll be 2 weeks if they don't find anything crazy,
Right.
craziness.
or he dies.
Well, there's 3 options.
Yes,
That's the third option.
That was the third
At
option.
Kev is your friend. Let me go ahead and flash that on the screen.
we
We
didn't,
can
we didn't
bring
want to
that
bring
up.
that one up.
Yeah, I know. Well, the other one is he would be ready by spring training, right?
Yeah, the other
If
one
there's
is
something a
8
little more
weeks, and that's
serious.
if they have to do the ablation again. The same
Yeah.
thing that they did in 2012.
Yeah.
Where they, I don't know, is it a stent in the heart? I don't know what it is.
No. That's for
Hashtag not a doctor.
yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna do stuff to his insides. So best of love and best of luck to Kenley. That's gonna happen next Monday. So he's gonna
Okay.
load up on turkey, and then they're
as
gonna
you
go in there and be like, "Oh my God, there's an entire turkey in here."
There is gravy in your blood.
I love it. So we mentioned him earlier,
Yeah.
but we want to say
Future hitting coach.
to our future hitting coach, farewell to Adrian Beltre. We definitely knew ye, and we wish we could have kept ye.
Man, Belly was he was I called him the original Belly, which
Yeah.
is what he was.
He was.
He was such a fun player. He had just had a
MVP season.
9.6 wins above replacement season. The only reason he didn't win is because Barry Bonds was roided out of his mind.
I thought it was Pujols that year.
No, that one was another Bonds one.
Was it another
Yeah.
Bonds one? Okay.
Bonds big head.
Yep.
Yep.
It just happens.
it's just so frustrating because Beltre should have been a lifetime Dodger,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Thank you, McCourt.
F you to Fox and McCourt and all of these
McCourt.
guys. Just so frustrating. So frustrating. So talented. He was 23 years old or something.
No,
when
he had just
that?
turned 25 when he
just turned 25.
when he was a free agent,
and he
look
was
at that
effective
deal.
until
5 years.
now.
Was it $65 million deal?
Easy.
Like,
Yeah.
you look at all of his career earnings. It's so sad to see. Like, this is surefire Hall of Famer. This is a guy who was, or probably could be in the conversation, or is in the conversation of best third baseman of all time.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, because he did it in the modern era. We understand Brooks Robinson, whatever. We get that Mike Schmidt was a very good player.
Yeah.
But this guy did it against just pure evil athletes.
Oh
Monsters.
Yeah,
no,
monster.
for sure.
But yeah, you had said on the Twitter, Mr. Brook, about how it's like, man, this makes me feel old.
You know, I never thought I'd see him retire. I don't know how that
Right?
made sense in my head, but he was just one of those guys. And, you know, if you look at the tape of his very first hit, he looks exactly the same as he does now. I don't know how
never is.
I don't know how that works, but I had
to
mentioned
deal with
that
the devil.
exactly. I had seen him maybe a month ago at a movie theater in Monrovia.
Oh.
Just walking out of the movie, and I saw him and I freaked out because he's one of my personal heroes. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Adrian Beltre." And my fiance is like, did you go to high school with him? And I was like,
Yes.
no, I did not go to high school with him. That's Adrian Beltre.
This
And
gentleman,
Brooks like the wedding's off.
this gentleman that's 14 years older than me. Yeah, he
we
was
did
a
not
teacher.
go to high school together. So I saw him, and from a distance, I had
I
to,
meet
hold
Mrs.
it
Brooke.
in. Yeah.
He made his major league debut when I was born. So.
So no. But
but
nicest guy, one of the
Yeah.
nicest guys I've ever met. And you know, I don't know if you saw the tweet today. One of the scouts that had watched him, Adrian Beltre's glove was the standard that he held everybody to. That was the 80 grade glove that he held
Wow.
everybody to.
yeah,
I mean, you talk about a guy who was just a whiz at third. You know,
you're getting the producer crying.
there you go.
Yeah.
Down towards the last couple of years of his career, you could see age start to catch up with him
Yeah.
a little bit. Injuries,
But the arm
you
was
know,
still
he booted
there.
some stuff.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
arm
The bat was
never
still there,
the-
too.
The arm never stopped being a cannon, and the bat never stopped either.
The best in the business to ever get that bare hand ground ball down the third base
oh,
line.
goodness.
Just-
Goodness
Well,
gracious.
He was a
we
wizard.
had FRG and I in an earlier episode of the show, much earlier in the season.
I
We had
never
done our
listened to it.
all-time Dodger team.
Yeah.
And both of us, you might have actually had Beltre.
Yeah.
But he was right up there with JT at the time.
Yeah.
For kind of like all-time best Dodger
Right.
specific third baseman. Just because, I mean, it was really frustrating to me because, you know, I've been a Dodger fan for a really, really, really long time.
Really
A really,
Really,
really long time. And so the thing is I saw him from when he got brought up as a rookie, and I would see him have these great half seasons.
Yeah.
And it was just waiting for him to put it all together. And he finally did, and we won the NL West, and it looked like if they could re-sign him, this was going to be a really
They
good
should
team
have
moving
re-signed
forward.
him. They had
should have
everything to
re-signed
re-sign him.
And it was so stressful and frustrating to me that he moved on, and I rooted for him everywhere he went. Really wanted him to win a World Series, you know, but he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats for sure.
He is absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody who's watching this live, mash that heart button wherever you're at for Adrian Beltre, future friend of the show.
Future friend of the
You
show.
go find him at the
I gotta
movie
I gotta
theater
go
again.
figure out where he is and be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Just keep waiting there.
we got a place for
Monrovia.
you.
A producer says he knows where he lives. Our producer is a creeper, man. He knows where
He
everybody
knows where
lives.
everybody lives.
A real quick note: MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred is inexplicably extended through 2024, which is frustrating because that delays FRG's natural ascension to the commissioner throne by about 6 years.
Yeah.
So that's a little. I
Collusion.
don't know. I was going to ask how you were taking that.
Full blown collusion. I think this is
Yeah.
wrong.
I agree.
This is a travesty. This will not stand. Look at the emails. Look at the emails.
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
All right,
I'll give
but
myself a point for that
well
one.
done. That was well played. Slap hands on that one.
Uh,
All right. So rumors.
Because the Hillary thing.
Yes.
Go and explain it.
Shoot out. Yeah. Explain your references.
Rumors are heating up right now for
I want to
the.
be that comedian, by the way. Like, did you guys get it? Because why does a lamp need shade? Anyway,
God damn it! All right.
dog and pony.
It
show.
is
I can edit
rumor
all
season
this.
for the Dodgers. I love that,
it
by the way.
is.
And so, first, one of the big ones is JT Realmuto. Obviously, we've been talking about
talked
that for a
about
while.
him. Yeah, hot minute.
But sources are saying that Miami wants a cornerstone player. They want a Bellinger and a what is it? A
Verdugo,
Verdugo, a
and
Puig Dugo,
or a Puig Dugo.
and a Puig
There you
Dugo.
go.
Yeah.
You, all right. You're the expert here, because I just called you the expert.
Listen. I don't believe in anybody's sources during the off season. First of all, I don't believe in anybody's
but
sources.
the Dodgers
during the
are
offseason.
in on everybody per sources.
I know, but it was also Manny Machado was a guaranteed lock to sign anywhere else but the Dodgers per
Yeah.
sources. All
True.
Until our friend
get
Nightingale.
traded to
Yeah.
exactly until
Our friend
hopped
Nightingale
in.
nailed it.
Yeah.
He made that happen.
That was a Bob bomb.
That was all him.
Bob Bum.
Yeah.
Hashtag Bob bomb.
Pirate
So
Bob Bum.
I don't believe they're looking for a cornerstone piece per se. I think Miami's still too far out to want that. They don't want anybody who's going to make money within the next 5 years, and it doesn't make sense for them to want that. They're
fair.
completely rebranding right now, and they're starting fresh. I think they're actually rebranding too early.
Probably.
I think they probably should have waited a few more years till their team's good, because I think they're still about 5 to 7 years out from being anywhere worth noting.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
At all.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
don't think they're
Stop
looking
yanking that.
exactly for. I don't think they're looking for a Bellinger type, that guy that's like
No,
3 years away from making money. They're not looking for that. They're looking for the guy that's number one prospect, number one overall in all the MLB pipeline. They're looking for that kind of player.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I mean, it is a little, and this is a little off topic, but it is mind-boggling that with all of these guys that have been moving on from the Marlins, all these big star players, how they didn't win when they had all these guys on the same team.
Those
when
are
they
some
had,
good players.
Yeah.
Holy
I
cow.
mean, Real Muto, they had Ozuna, they had Yelich, they had Stanton. All these guys on the same team. How do you not win more games?
I think they were well on the path towards winning, and I mean, it's unfortunate, but Fernandez's death really derailed everything.
Oh, 100%.
As soon as that happened, they knew there was just no way they were going to compete. He was the centerpiece of their entire franchise.
Yeah,
they
were
gonna
building
build a
everything
rotation
around him.
Yeah.
They signed Giancarlo, to that huge contract. They had all the plans to compete for the foreseeable future. Then that happens, and it's like, screw it, tear it down.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, that is so hard to recover from.
Oh, yeah.
As just a baseball organization, let alone the players recovering from it. I mean, that's
on
not
a personal level. For
yeah,
sure.
that's not just like I don't know, the show up and get the job done and go home guy. That's like he was the heart and soul of that team.
He was.
Yeah,
Good
for
dude.
sure.
Good dude.
Okay, so there's some other that we chatted about on the pregame show here.
Well, wait.
before we
What is
started.
the counteroffer? Did you
Oh,
have a
counteroffer?
counteroffer for like? So if they're asking for Bellinger,
and Verdugo and Puig,
obviously we know we could all agree on the fact that Real Muto's like the best catcher in baseball. He's the guy we would want. We understand that Ruiz and Smith are not that far off, but still, like if you're able to go and get this guy, then these guys can be tradable, or maybe you can trade Real Muto in a year. You want to have the best that you can get. And not put these guys, the young kids, in a position to go out there and just flounder, and then then you mess them up. It just doesn't work.
what I do is I take Bellinger off the table. I'll give him Verdugo. I'll give him Ruiz,
Oh.
and I'll throw in Alex Wood.
You are going to give up Ruiz?
Yeah, I'll give up
You
Ruiz.
wouldn't go with I'd go with the Smith.
No, I'll give up Ruiz because you have Cartaya right behind him.
Not right
Cartaya is
behind him.
younger,
He's-
and Cartaya is really.
Defensively, he's there
He's
already.
a big kid,
ready.
though.
I think
He
the
a
bat is
big
still out
kid.
on him, and we can go and listen to last week's episode with our friend SD Dodger Tim.
Yeah.
talking the catchering.
There you go.
But
Well, Tim's really high on him though too, and
Oh, yeah.
I give him that, and some of the other Dodger bloggers that follow the minors, they're high on him, and I mean that's the thing. If you're getting JT Realmuto, you have to give up something big, and I'm comfortable if it's not Bellinger, giving them Ruiz,
Yeah.
and throwing in Alex Wood because
They can have him.
take our
Well,
garbage.
there's this counteroffer. This counteroffer's wrong, and we could all agree. I'd open up. I mean, I don't want to give up Verdugo. I really want to see what he's made of. Chances are we might end up seeing what he's made of elsewhere. Verdugo and Wood, and then you got to find one more. I mean, you get anybody talking when it comes to pitching. If you're able to, either a Santana
Or May.
or a Ferguson. I don't want to go with guys we haven't seen yet. I know we're pretty high on May. Mitchell White isn't that far behind, even though I think he took a step back this season.
He did.
But I would be okay on Santana. Anyway,
All right. Well, okay. There's the other Dodger rumors going in, and it's regarding the Indians, and we kind of discussed this a little bit at the beginning of the show. And so, FRG, do you want to
in the pre-show.
in the pre-show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
So
It was
again,
Yanni Gomes.
this is kind of again Dodgers in on everybody per sources sort of
Yeah.
thing. But I forget who it was. I think was it an
I think it was the Athletic, right?
yeah. So it was who's the little guy again? I can't think of his name right
Rosenthal?
now. Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Rosenthal says Cleveland and the Dodgers engaged in a lot of different discussions. Dodgers like Cleveland starting pitchers, as well they should, because they're very good. And they also like their catcher, Yan Gomes, which, again, is a perfect stopgap fit to get to Ruiz or whatever. Cleveland needs outfielders, as the tweet says. Dodgers have Peterson, they have Puig, Verdugo, plus young catching. So there's a really good mix that could make something happen there, where we get Gomes and one of their ace types, either a Corey Kluber or Carrasco, or you guys were talking about Clevenger in the pregame,
Yeah.
in the pre-show pregame.
And again, I maintain that I stand by Carrasco. I would
Carrasco,
love
you
to have
can't go
Carrasco.
wrong.
Yeah.
Kluber's their true ace, but like I said, he's almost like a Kershaw type. He's not big in the playoffs. He can't make it happen in the playoffs.
No.
I need to look at producer more so I can give him more super quotable quotes for our live stream.
Just give him that. That's the one right there.
Else he's gonna start making up stuff that we never said.
There you go.
But what kind of moves? Well, how do you make that move happen? How do you get Gomes and Carrasco to LA?
I mean, honestly, if we're getting Carrasco in that deal, I think I let them make the first move. You know, I let them say, okay, what are you
buy
looking
you
for?
dinner.
You know it.
Hear
Like
that?
to sit
Hear-
back and
you hear
relax
that?
and let it happen.
Kevin lets them buy him dinner first. There's a
Damn
quote for you.
right.
That's on Twitter.
That is
Love it.
on Twitter. You can find us at Dodgers Nation.
Yeah, no, I let them kind of set what they think
Mm-hmm.
the expectations are, and then you come back with the counter offer because then you're dealing from a position of strength, and you know if you're wasting your time or not. Because
Yeah.
if they come out and say we want Kershaw and we want Puig, then you're like, okay, it was nice talking to you guys. We'll hear from you at the trade deadline. You know, but if they're saying like we want a Verdugo and maybe a starting pitcher in the minors, then you start listening and you figure out how that might work.
Yeah. Or
I
what
would
do you
give
got
up
on?
Verdugo and Santana though.
So you said you're a Clevenger guy, Brooke. Who are you giving up for Clevenger?
You know,
Players? Are you giving up players?
probably players, probably
Oh,
outfielders.
that's a good trade.
You know, I think they need outfielders, is what they said.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more high on Yan Gomes than I am any of their starting pitching, honestly.
Really?
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Yan Gomes is
After the break
signed
now.
through after the break.
Yeah.
After this message, Yan Gomes is signed, I believe, through the 2021 season. And
Okay.
that about puts us right in line for any kind of stopgap that we need
Yeah.
for Ruiz or any other prospect that you feel might take his place.
Cartaya,
A
but,
lot of
yeah.
people really do believe Ruiz is the catcher of the future. He does show a lot of maturity for, I think he's just barely turned 20 this year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey,
he's been
Tom
on
Kohler,
top.
friend of the show, just joined. Hey, what's going on, Tom?
What's going on, Tom? He must have heard us talk about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Sorry it never worked out here in L.A., but hopefully everything catches on pretty nice for you, man.
We miss you already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see him play though.
Yeah.
Playing a game. I was actually excited when we signed him.
I know.
I was like, oh, great.
I saw the spring training game where he got hurt.
Yeah, he
If
was
that-
he was going to be the next our
helps.
next in line of the Joe Blanton,
Yeah.
Brandon Morrow type
He
guy.
was the next
Yeah.
Brandon Morrow, which
I
means
hate-
next season would have
Yeah.
sucked for you.
I
Well,
really-
which
I
means
really-
that next season he's going to be somebody's Brandon Morrow, and we're going to be kicking ourselves for letting
I
him
really
go.
hate spring training injuries, but hopefully, hey, a minor league deal, give it a shot, Huh? You can come on the podcast.
Tom
We
Kohler.
have sound effects.
Love it.
Anyway,
Anyways, so we're talking about
Clevenger.
You know, I don't care who it is. I don't care which one of their starting pitchers it is. No matter which one it gets, going to be an upgrade from anybody that's our, you
Yeah.
know, Rich. I mean, let's face it, guys. Rich Hill he's old. I mean, this dude is almost near the end of his career. I don't
Yeah.
know how much longer he has. I don't
Dick
know.
Mountain's time is almost up.
I don't know if he makes it through next season, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he went down with an injury at the start of next season, halfway through next season. Doesn't matter. I
I
don't
would
know
be
how long he's
surprised,
going to make it.
though. I
Blister
would be
just
surprised.
ruptures his entire
The
finger
only
off.
thing that worries me is the blister thing
Right.
because he doesn't have a lot of miles on him.
He doesn't, but he's still old. He's still old.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to put
But he's
on
not
an
a
old
power
arm.
pusher.
no,
It's
yeah,
true.
it's
he
hard.
might be. He's not a Jamie Moyer though either. Where he's
It's
not
hard
throwing
to
60 every
rely.
time.
It's hard to go into a
He could,
season
though.
comfortable
He
with
could.
relying on a 39-year-old pitcher to be like your number 3, number 4 guy.
It's really tough to lean on that and to rely on
Yeah.
that. And I think that's we've gotten lucky.
We have an update. Gomes signed through 2019, but with team options for 20 and
20 and
21.
So he's basically
So he's signed
So
through
yeah,
2021.
exactly.
Yeah, 'cause he's-
Team. Anytime you have team options, woo, that's good.
Oh
That's,
yeah,
that's
team
good
option.
stuff.
Carrasco also has a team option, I believe, too, which signs him through 2020. So Carrasco might be the
Oh,
option.
yeah, that'd be a
Yeah.
great one.
Carrasco might be
And
the
that's
way to
where
go.
like I feel less comfortable to giving up Verdugo for that, like somebody with a lot of control. But or Peterson makes a lot of sense for them. You know, he's still a plus player.
Yes, he is.
And give them some new, fresh, young pitchers to
Yeah.
kind of stand by. I keep throwing the name out there. I know everybody loves him, but Ferguson makes a lot of sense for a lot of different clubs.
Ferguson makes a lot of sense for almost every club,
Yep.
Yeah, including ours.
including ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including the Dodgers.
I mean, I guess if you're into that sort of thing.
Pitching.
So last week on Twitter, Josh Thomas told us that we missed some bobblehead opportunities.
Fair.
He said
Bobbletunity.
he wants to see a Chase Utley bobblehead where he's actually hit by a pitch. Looks like he doesn't
Beautiful.
dislike it with a wry smirk. And then he also wants the Rich Hill 2-strike stance and Puig kissing Ward, which would have been great if we
Yes.
had Ward returning. I think we could have done that this year, but Unfortunately, it would be weird putting him in a Reds uniform and then having him
They'll
Puig
have to
kiss
set it
him.
up. They'll have to set it up a game where the Reds play at Dodger Stadium.
And we need like reunited.
Yeah, and they can
No,
run out on
it
the
was
field.
Puig. It wasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't
Slow
Ryu.
motion.
It wasn't Ryu. It was Puig.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, and we still got. I don't know if we ever actually figured it out. When are we going to have who's going to be the new go-to, new go-to boo for Puig in 2019?
Oh yeah,
we've
we've got all offseason to figure that out.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
gonna be
it's
Ryu.
going to be an interesting question. That's definitely going to be an interesting one. Maybe
so
the new hitting coach.
I'm going to lead it off in my my ideas of bobbleheads because I know everybody's going to have this one immediately. So I'm going to get to it first.
Yeah, we're gonna give ideas that we have for
Yeah.
bobbleheads for next season.
Bobble belly Tommy. Obviously, it's got to happen.
The belly moves.
Yeah, yeah.
The stomach moves.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I like that.
I like that one a lot.
That's solid.
So I've got a different belly. I've got the Cody Bellinger wishy-washy swing bobblehead. That one shows Bellinger.
That's an action figure.
It is. It shows Bellinger falling down after hacking at a breaking ball and missing badly. So I want to see that one.
It
That's
just
pretty
turns.
solid.
It just turns, and he ends up on his knee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Yes.
ass out, bat. Wait, that's not how the song goes.
Ass out, bad out. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
You
Yeah.
How
got
about you,
one?
Brooke?
I got
Any,
I think it's 2009 Matt Kemp when he ran into the wall and ruined his career.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, that's just like a funny throwback to be like, yeah, he's back.
when
It's
you
fine.
when you say ran into the wall, you mean Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
ran into the wall.
Re-enter into her. Yeah.
That's a couple of.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, FRG.
I also had a Bellinger one. I had
Oh, yeah.
Bobble Bong Belly
Bobble bong.
because I don't care what anybody says. Dude is baked
That
out of his
kid's high.
mind
Oh,
90,
he's high.
90 times out of
Did you guys see
10.
him cook the pizza? Goodness gracious.
Oh, I wish I had. I wish I had.
Someone's got to
that.
teach that kid how to live. I don't
Yeah.
know.
He put a pizza. He put an oven pizza on a cutting board,
Oh,
on a
he did.
plastic cutting board.
And melted it.
I
I think he still ate the pizza.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
I'm
five.
guaranteeing.
I got 5 on him. Still
What's
eating
what's
pizza.
the over under that Bellinger actually puts ding dongs in the microwave with the foil still on? I'm just curious. I feel like
microwaves keep breaking. Got to keep buying more
He
microwaves.
buy more
Go-
microwaves.
Goes to Best Buy. Another microwave, Mr. Bellinger.
So my second one is the. I love it. My second one is the Let Kike Catch bobblehead. This is the
Ooh.
bobblehead of Kike Hernandez squatting behind the plate in catcher's gear
Yeah.
that I want to see next
Yeah, he
year.
already wore the mask at one point. I like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much a catcher.
Wait,
Yeah.
does the ass shake? Is
It
it the
does.
booty shaking?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So everything
That's
else
the
is
important part.
stationary, but yeah.
The-
all right.
It thrusts a little
Ooh.
bit.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
I got the Chris Taylor staring at strike 3 right down the middle. That's my
That's another one.
my
Ass,
personal favorite.
ass out,
Ass
bat on
out.
the shoulder.
looking down, already heading back to the dugout because he knew. He knew.
Oh,
Doesn't argue. He knew.
friend of
I
the
like
show.
that one.
Friend of the show.
My final. I went with 3. I'm going to settle at 3.
I
I
have
went
3
with
as well.
Bobble Tongue Puig
Ooh.
for the ladies or the fellas, whatever. You know, it's 2018. Do what you want.
That's what I'm saying.
Live your life, boo.
I like that.
Yeah.
So my third one is the limited edition Manny Machado ground ball hustle bobblehead. So it depicts it depicts Manny Machado twirling a cane, whistling and blowing a bubble as he leisurely strolls to first base to run out a grounder.
The cane is the bobblehead.
The
part.
cane is the bobble part. It
Bobble
just
cane.
sways.
Bobble cane.
And it comes with like
There you go.
it's like
Got music behind it.
yeah, it's old Billy Bass. What's it
Yeah,
called?
yeah, exactly.
That is good. All right, that's oh wait, that one.
For my last one,
Yeah, that's it.
let's wrap it up here. We got the Tim Locastro doing the Avengers fade out in memory of Timmy Two Fly.
Oh,
Tim, wherever you are,
I get it.
I love you,
I love it. That's good.
my brother.
That is
Poor Timmy Locastro, man. Designated pinch runner for a Grandal for when the 40-man
Yeah,
roster was
exactly.
up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a good job if
Exactly.
you can get it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but after the break, we're going to get into 2018 letter grades for the pitching rotation, and also some jackass wrote a story about Austin Barnes, and I'll tell you why he's wrong after this.
Rude. And we're back.
We are. So this past Sunday, someone named Clint Pasillas on DodgersNation.com
Never heard of that guy.
wrote an editorial saying, with the title, "Maybe Austin Barnes can be the answer at catcher." So we thought we'd bring him on the show to
Live via next to us.
live via right here.
Live via engineer.
We thought FRG,
Yes.
otherwise AKA Clint Pasillas. You wrote this article, and I know this wasn't. Some people took it the wrong way, and they were thinking that he was advocating for Austin Barnes to become the next catcher, and that's the slam dunk. Obviously, that's not what you were saying. You were saying that maybe he could be the answer. You were trying to kind of lay out an argument. What's your argument for this? What is your wrong reasoning for wanting or for us to consider Austin Barnes next year?
Number one, we can't put out 1,000% clickbait titles. I can't be like Austin Barnes next catcher with a question mark. You know,
Not catcher, catcha.
Catch
yeah,
ya.
like we're trying to be borderline professional at what we do. As you can see,
We are borderline professional at what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Look
succeeding.
at this. Look at this. I got this fancy helmet here. I was waiting for it to move. It's going to move in like 30 seconds. We got to realize that as of now, he is the guy. He's the starting catcher. And, nothing is imminent to make anything happen.
Yes.
So why not make people or help people see, feel a little bit better about him and look at the fact that in 2017, he was a very, very, very good player. Not just catcher, but player in baseball. He's good on defense, good with the bat, got on base. OPS was, I think his OPS plus was like 140 or whatever. I mean, dude was a beast for what we needed. And then 2018 happened.
Yeah.
2018 did happen.
And unfortunately, that counts.
Yes.
It does.
It actually counts against
It
him.
does.
And I see what you're saying, but also, as we've learned with the Dodgers over the last few years, you get a lot of players that are one-hit wonders.
Oh, yeah.
And his
Like Bellinger
one-hit-
for once.
Like Bellinger, like Muncy, like
At me,
potentially
Diamond
Muncy.
There you go.
I think that's the next quote on
Yeah, I
Twitter
think
right
so.
now. By the
At
way.
me, Diamond Huggers.
That'd be Diamond.
No, that
And I feel like
Bellinger
his-
was one hit wonder.
There you go.
Anyway.
Boy.
And I feel like Austin Barnes' one-hit wonder year is not as good as some of the, like Chris Taylor's, for example.
I got people already defending me on Periscope here talking about his defense, and that's the biggest key.
Yeah,
that
I'm
dude
seeing
that-
a Randy Shipley on Facebook defending you as well. She
Yeah,
stands with you.
the dude is a wizard with the glove. Like, I don't know if he's a wizard. Maybe that's going a little bit strong, but he is just beautiful to watch receive the ball.
The bar's been set really low.
Yeah.
Fair. I think just the simple fact that he can catch throws from the outfield, unlike some other former Dodgers catchers, that kind of, I don't know about you, it plays up for me when a catcher can catch. And
Yeah.
and we played a season with a designated dropper behind home plate, whatever. I think about how long the catching position in baseball was just not good. It was not
Currently, it's not good.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a defense. We are offensive driven. Russell Martin hit 180 last year. Come on, And
Russell
he's
Martin's
still-
90 years old.
Fair.
though.
Well, his hips are. I mean, wait. Was there something in the water with the hips back in those days?
I think so.
It was, yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
Again,
I'm not
Homeboy is
arguing that
just-
he's a great defensive catcher.
Yeah.
He is. Austin Barnes is very good behind the plate. He's a
can-
very good
he
backup
can
catcher.
throw pretty well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. He's a backup
Yeah.
catcher. But I am not comfortable if we go into this season right now making no changes. I'm not comfortable with just handing Ruiz the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Or Will Smith the ball. Let Will Smith get jiggy with it for another season in AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And let's either, if we don't import a guy like Cervelli, like I prefer Cervelli. I'm kind of leaning more towards Cervelli now over Real Muto just because I'm kind of like, dude, we've been trying to date you for a while. It's not working out. I guess we should just. Our Real Muto's dad does not want us going out with him.
There you go.
There it is.
Here's a question for you though. Would you rather
Raise your
give?
goddamn hand.
Hello. Would you rather?
Uh-oh.
This is a would you
I've
rather.
played this game.
This is an appropriate would you rather.
Oh, this
we
is
can do
it.
the other
I'm
one
out.
later.
Does it
No,
marry,
no.
kill, fornicate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
FRG, all three.
bang.
FRG, all of them. So, would you rather give up a pretty good-sized prospect haul for Real Muto, which he'll demand,
Uh-huh.
or have Austin Barnes be your starting catcher for 2019?
Prospect Hall.
I'm honestly, if you're saying sizable, if a sizable, assuming like maybe 3 of the top 15,
It hurts the bottom line. Yeah.
I would be more comfortable with Barnes. Only
Really?
because I know it's not, like Barnes. There's a fair chance he's not going to make it happen. And I saw somebody talk about Lucroy in my article. I talked about like, do you really want a guy in Lucroy? Do you want to pay Lucroy, $6 million plus or something like that to do exactly what Austin Barnes is going to do? Lucroy has an opportunity. He might be better offensively than he was this year in Oakland. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I go with Barnes because Will Smith or Ruiz are not that far off. So there's a chance that Smith might come up and by May and take the reins or something like that or start getting times, Same thing. We used to do that back in the day. It was like, oh, it's Cinco de Mayo, time for the next big player to come up.
Yeah.
And we did that for a couple of seasons, and it worked out. There was some guy, Andre Ethier. There was some guy, Russell Martin.
Some guy, Matt Kemp.
This one dude whose name escapes me. That guy throwing the pitching ball over there,
like
Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah. Clayton Cranshaw. No, not you. Not you, producer. Yeah. You were never one of the big guys. That knuckle curve did not play up.
Man, Randy Shipper is really defending you.
She really is.
Hey, it's in defense of defense, and I'm on board with the dude. I don't want to give up everybody for one guy, and they're just going to be here for a little bit, or they can do the thing like so many people do when they come to L.A., just looking at you, Fred McGriff, like just do nothing or get hurt immediately, and then that's
Pretty
it.
sure Fred McGriff was 75 years old when he got traded to the Dodgers, though, or when he signed
It's
with the
all
Dodgers.
relative.
He had a little age behind him.
A little bit. So my issue and why I'm not comfortable with starting with Barnes. I was going to call him Matt Barnes, and then
wrong
Matta
sports.
World Barnes.
Wrong the sports.
Wrong sport. Why I'm not comfortable with Barnes is the fact that the Dodgers are still within their championship window. They've been to 2 World Series. They haven't cashed in. This is the time. The National League, unless some big moves are made, is still somewhat weak. It's still susceptible to the Dodgers being able to run through teams in the playoffs and get back to the World Series and then give themselves a shot. Mm-hmm. And we can't do that with a guy who just watches pitches go past him because he didn't look like he could catch up to a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the playoffs, let alone the other elite pitchers that he has to face while going through the gridiron, the rigor there of the playoffs. So I'm not comfortable with Matt Barnes. I want to see them make a move. Austin Barnes. Sorry,
Come on.
My bad. I'm not comfortable with Matt Barnes either.
Matt Barnes either.
I don't want him.
We don't want him in there.
Because then he's going to beat up Derek Fisher again.
I would much rather have Kershaw or Kike catch over Matt Barnes.
That's my thing.
Sure.
We already have a catcher for next year, and his name is Kike Hernandez. So at me. So real quick though, some of my favorite reactions on Facebook to your article though.
Okay.
We had Kyle Solis. Austin Barnes couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
It's been said.
Ruben Chavita, author of this article, must have been day drinking like a mofo when they wrote it.
I like that.
That's true.
I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. I said I wrote it, but I can't even be mad at this. This is good.
Scott Singleton said most fans are dumber than a box of 100-year-old hair.
So he was defending me, yeah?
Yes, a little bit. Jay Atkins, a better look. I know exactly what 205 looks like.
They hit 289 in 2017.
Jason Wright has an innovative question or innovative solution for this. He sucks. We need Mike Piazza.
Oh,
So
man.
advocating bringing back Mike
I
Piazza.
know-
Not like past Mike Piazza.
No.
No,
Now,
yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
now Mike
Piazza.
Piazza.
I don't know. I mean, he's already on the Hall of Fame. Why would he want to come out? You know who is available? Mike Scioscia.
To catch.
Mike Scioscia is available.
Which is
To
topical
catch.
because somebody just brought him up in here.
I don't think he can squat anymore.
Hook Bill said, I hear Mike Scioscia's looking for a job. There you go, Hook Bill. At Hook Bill, friend of the stream.
And then we have Mike Catalano who says, if you can't even bat your weight, you should not be our catcher. Can you bat your weight? Because you're a hell of a hitter.
Yeah, I'm a great hit. In softball, I exceed my weight by
That's amazing.
a few pounds.
You think Austin Barnes weighs more than 200 pounds?
Yeah, Austin Barnes is like 170. So
yeah,
you really
he's
lost
so-
your argument there. I'm
He's
sorry.
already doing
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
a
beast.
good point. Yeah.
He's not hitting 170.
Yeah,
like 175.
We have to
Yeah.
unfortunately look at this with the like the Oakland goggles on. I would like to call him. The dude can still get on base. He did have an on base percentage of 340 or whatever it was. I wrote the article, but that was a long time ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah, long enough.
He gets on base. He in 2017. he was, like I mentioned in the article, he would have been, if he qualified in the top 10, he actually would have been like 8th in on-base percentage in all of baseball.
Yeah.
He had a 408 on base in 2017. He was still 340 last year. Average doesn't mean as much in 2019 in this climate, we'll call it. And if you can have somebody that can receive the ball and call that kind of ball game at that level, I'm all in. Plus, he's Kershaw's ping pong partner.
That's true.
Very happy I said that. Right.
Correctly. Kershaw's ping pong partner.
Ping
All
pong
right, what do
partner,
you think?
Sam.
Those of you that haven't let us know, let us know in the comments below.
No, we're done.
All
We're
right,
done with
so
we're
now
all
it is time. We are going to give our grades for the starting rotation. We've been doing this all off season. We are going to we did the infield.
Outfield.
We gave our outfield grades last week. Next week we're going to do the bullpen, but this week it's the starting rotation. So this is an important one because these are the horses that drive the cart. I don't know if that's a real saying,
stop
but
with this analogy.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
working.
where are you going with that one?
I think some of my
These are the
my
horses in the
stroke
mine
Pass
that
off.
warn
Guys,
the
guys.
canaries
Can-
of
is-
something.
Can you transmit stroke from other people? Let us know in the comments below.
All you doctors out there.
Doctor,
Hit that applause button.
Kevorkian. Oh, I got it. There it is.
There we go.
All right.
All right. So we are going to start off with the unquestioned and now heavily questioned ace of the staff.
The once unquestioned.
The once unquestioned, currently no longer ace of the staff, Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw threw in 26 games this year. He had a 2.73 ERA. He had 155 strikeouts in 161 innings, which is not great for him.
No, not particularly.
In the playoffs, he pitched in 6 games. He had a 6.54 ERA, and he had 26 strikeouts in 30 innings pitched. Not very good. We see a picture of Kershaw here.
On the screen, yeah.
I gave Kershaw a B- over the course of the season. I know that there were some injuries. I know that he was bad in the playoffs once we got past the NLDS.
Yep.
But you know what? His numbers were still good across the board, and he's still, top 25, top 30 pitcher. And so having
In the
that guy
game
in
of
your
sports.
rotation in the game of sports, having that guy in the rotation and not being your ace, which is going to be the situation next year, I think that puts us in a real good spot.
And we should mention that ace doesn't necessarily mean that they start opening day, because he's going to start opening day. But he's not the ace.
He will.
He will.
Yeah.
You got a grade ready, Brooke?
I'm going to give him a solid B. I think,
Is that better than a regular B?
solid B versus soft B.
Yeah, you don't want a soft
You don't
B.
want a soft B.
But it's not quite an A+. All right.
If you have a soft B, see your doctor.
BC.
got-
See it?
They have a recommendation for
Fun
that.
with letters.
Fun with letters. I think we've
Brooke,
talked.
the flashcards. Anyway.
So we've talked about this. I think on the last time I was on the show.
Oh, back in the 40s?
Yeah. Way back then.
Way back when.
That he is just held to the Kershaw standard.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at him, you expect a 1.5 ERA, which with a 0.75 WHIP, and that's what you expect from him.
Yeah.
200 plus strikeouts, 200 plus innings all the time.
Not even to mention his nene.
The whip and the nay-nay.
Yes.
And a little bit of the Dougie. A little bit.
Ooh, can you
Yeah.
teach me
Wow.
how to Dougie?
I can't.
I'm
I
a
can't teach
Bernie guy.
myself how to Dougie.
I'm honestly a Bernie guy.
The one where you don't do anything?
Yeah. You just got to stand there.
great at that.
It's great at stretching out.
Oh, it's
That's all.
great.
Hurts my knee though.
But, I'm going to give him a B because
It's reasonable.
2.7 something ERA in any
you,
climate
let's see.
against a pretty tough division.
I'll give you.
people
I'll
people
give you
like,
a bike bell.
Thank you. I appreciate that. People like to pretend like the NL is not strong, and I've seen a lot of things about the NL not being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel personally attacked by this statement, by the way.
I do, yeah. But I think when you have, we're getting off topic a little bit here, but when you got 200 plus win teams in one division in the AL East, you're not in a competitive division at all.
Yeah.
That's, what did the Orioles win? Like half a game?
Yeah, I think
Ish.
so.
Yeah.
Half a
Anyways,
game a week.
So
yeah.
we're getting off track. The NL West is a pretty strong division. They got really good teams in it. They have 3 really good teams in it, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know those other guys. So to be able to face those guys all year long and guys who have owned Kershaw pretty much throughout his career, I think I'd give him a solid B.
Yeah. All right. And now I'm looking. I know. Our producer wants a quote. I'm gonna give him his quote. 100% set this up for a quote. I give Clayton Kershaw. You know what they say, man? C's get degrees, baby. Just not championships. Unfortunately, I'm giving the boy a C. It just felt like he was coasting downhill, but it was like a rocky road all season.
Yeah.
Like it was easy for him,
road.
but it was also a struggle. Hit the DL for the third straight year, highest ERA since 2010. K's way down. There was just a lot that at the end of the season, the numbers looked okay.
Right.
But they still were not Kershawian. They were not somebody that we felt super confident. Like we didn't feel when it was a Kershaw start. All right, it's not Kershaw day anymore. It's like, oh, it's Kershaw day. Hopefully he does good because we want him to do good. We don't want to feel bad about our Kershaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 100% that this year. So.
It was really strange to see his strikeout numbers take such a huge dip.
Yeah.
Apparently, he didn't want to throw a curveball in 2018. I don't know.
No. Legend says that his curveball was good.
Yeah.
I think ever since Vince Scully left, he just doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't want
So
to
isn't
throw it
how-
anymore.
Well,
no
he
more
wanted
Uncle
to-
Charlie.
He wanted to blow that 91-mile-an-hour fastball past people. So, I mean, which...
he could have got it past me.
All right, onward to Walker Buehler. I'll go ahead and lead this off too for
Yes.
fun. There's the Buell dog up on the screen now, but
Looks just like him.
what can I say about Walker, man? Like, dude just got it done. He kept getting better and better the whole season.
Yeah.
I was at his first start against the Marlins in LA, and for me, I called it 5 innings of the future. Because like he wasn't exceptional, but he figured it out and he kept getting better. You know, dude even tried to cowboy up through a broken rib
Yeah, seriously.
for like 3 starts. I'm giving him an A++
Nice.
because he saved the 2018 season hands
did.
down.
Yeah.
As a reliever, though, however, he does get an F because he gave up 5 earned runs in his 1 inning as a relief pitcher. So that was pretty bad.
Those aren't great numbers. Bueller, from me, he gets an A. So some
Cheater.
stats. Yeah. Some stats that I'd put down for him. He pitched in 24 games. He had a 2.62 ERA, 151 strikeouts, and 137 innings. Now, those are numbers that I want to see.
By the way, would have been a 2.31 ERA had it not been for that 5-run, 1-run, or 5-run, 1 inning pitched, which would have been the best rookie ERA in Dodgers history.
Really, really impressive, and I expect more of that next year in the playoffs. He pitched in 4 games. He had a 4.28 ERA, but 9 was in the NLDS, and that was because of 1 bad inning in the NLDS.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was great. He had 29 strikeouts in 23 innings. He was absolutely dominant in the World Series. We all forget that he pitched a masterpiece in Game 3 of the World Series because that game went 175 innings. But it was wildly impressive. The dude has ice water in his veins. He's
It's a terrible addiction or
it's
condition.
It really is
You gotta
because he's
help him
cold
out.
all the time.
Yeah.
But he's Kobe reincarnate in a Dodgers jersey.
And when
he's
he,
amazing.
He led postseason baseball at 29 strikeouts. He led him in innings or something like that too. Like homeboy got it done.
He really did. Brooke, what do you got?
I'm gonna give him an A because I don't believe in plus and minuses. It just messes with the system too much.
That's fair.
If I was a college professor, I'd be one of those. You passed or you failed. That's it. You don't get grades.
I wanted at P+.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I also was at Bueller's first start. So the
Wait,
thing
were we?
I noticed.
I wasn't there with you, was I? Were
No,
we there? Okay.
I think you had told me you were there, and I was like, I'm not going to find him.
Yeah, well,
I was
I'm
in the,
totally
I was in
about
the
that
left field
lie.
pavilion.
Just
hanging
like for
out.
the gym shorts.
It's the best laid plans of mice and men when you're going to a ball game. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with these people. And you get your seats. You're like, I don't know.
I'm not touching that
Yeah,
guy.
I'm not getting up.
That's every game.
Yeah. So I saw his first start, and the thing I noticed right away, like you said, he was finding it, and it took him a little bit to find it. I think like almost every at bat in the first 2 innings, he had a 3-2 count on somebody.
Yeah,
is what it
he
felt
had the
like.
bases loaded with like 1 out in that first inning, and
Yeah.
he got out of it with nothing coming across.
And so he figured it out. He got through those 5 innings. He didn't give up runs. He looked great for his first start ever. And it was so good that the next weekend I drove up to San Francisco to watch his next start because I was like, I got to see this guy. And so I got to go up to San Francisco and watch his second start, which was
Nice.
also very good. But he also had like 14 runs to support that game too. So
that helps.
it just kind of it looked like he was bringing life to a team that was standing still.
Yeah.
And that's what he
Yeah.
did. You know, a guy who comes in throwing 99 miles an hour.
It's almost
well-
like he
well through-
deserves a plus.
Almost. But a Kevin A, that's a Kevin A.
That's true.
That doesn't
So-
mean very much.
So
Good point.
I'm going to
He's
give him an A
super
on the season.
wishy-washy.
I'm very wishy-washy.
Yeah. I was at game 163 when he played and pitched against the Rockies, and the man was lights out. The Rockies were on their heels the whole time.
Yeah.
They looked like they were dead from the beginning. They had no chance against him.
Yeah.
And I felt confident in every playoff game he played in. I've never felt that confident about a pitcher in the playoffs.
Yes.
And especially
Yeah.
a kid in his first full season in the big leagues. And to me, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. To be able to choose between Clayton Kershaw and Walker Buehler and say, I'd probably give the
Yeah.
ball to Buehler in
Yeah.
this game, you know?
I think that's what we were advocating the whole time leading
Yeah.
up to the playoffs.
We
Go Bueller.
were.
Right. It put me in a weird spot. Clayton Kershaw is my all-time favorite Dodger. I mean, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, give the ball to the kid. This kid's gonna shut him down. And
Yeah.
he did that. He did that, and he did save our season, like you said.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to Rich Hill, the
Dick
guy
Mountain.
who Brooke is already burying him and throwing dirt all over his lifeless
here-
body.
Here on the live stream, we see
Here.
him sliding into second base.
Yeah, we see him right there. You can see him.
That was actually in his early years.
Yeah. No,
So-
that was this year because he has the beard.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's got the Rich Hill beard.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
ever since he got the beard, though, he's
Oh,
gone up
yeah,
a couple
he-
Yeah.
grades.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
He
So-
definitely used that old man power.
Rich Hill's ERA this year was 3.66, which isn't especially good, but he had a high strikeout rate. It was 150 strikeouts in 132 innings, and he was great in the playoffs. There was a little mechanical issue that our pitching coach, Chase Utley, helped him fix
you go.
late in the season, and he really turned it on. Remember, Rich Hill's a guy, he doesn't throw fire, but he throws what looks like,
A fastball.
I don't know, 75 pitches. I mean, just because of so many different arm angles. Yeah, exactly. He's like Vishnu in like Hindu culture. But in the playoffs, he had a 2.35 ERA and then 17 strikeouts in 16 innings, and another one who had an absolute masterpiece in Game 4 before Dave Roberts' poor decisions
just
screwed it
everything
up
went so
and
bad.
souped the bed. But wow, Rich Hill was unhittable against an elite Red Sox team.
They gave us hope until they crushed it and took it away. We're still mad at you, Madsen. Is
Yep.
anybody
Still
doing
mad
that
at-
review? I think
No,
it's I
we've
think it's
actually
Garvey.
we just forgot about him. Yeah.
Well, I guess next week we'll have our relief pitcher review. We got some.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you, boy.
So yeah, I give Rich Hill an A- on the season.
Reasonable. I'm gonna go to Brooke next. I'm gonna defer to the Brook.
All right.
I'm gonna give him a B, and I think that's more catered towards his age and expectations. I don't think there are a lot of expectations on Rich Hill. I don't think there ever have been, other than the first half season that he got traded with the great and mighty Reddick.
Boo. I think the only expectation on Hill is the blister. You expect him to get the blister.
Exactly.
You do
You
expect
know,
the
at some
blister.
point, you're not going to get a full season out of him because those are going to pop up. And
True.
I don't know how much of that has to do with age. I don't know how much that has to do with skincare routine. I don't know what it is.
Need some of that rich fix.
Rich fix.
Some of the
Yeah.
rich fix,
Yeah.
exactly.
Friend of the show.
I don't think there were a ton of expectations out of him, but he exceeded mine. I didn't think he was going to have a 3.6 ERA for the year, whatever he had. And I didn't think he was going to start, what he started, like 25 games or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's more than I thought we were going to get from him. So he's going
Yeah.
to get a B for me. And in the playoffs, I would agree.
Yeah.
He came up big time
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he was given enough leash in the playoffs. Honestly, He
Not at
could've-
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially in Game 4. But I mean, as a whole,
Yeah, agreed.
Big Dick Mountain. You got to go with Big Dick Mountain, man.
That's his grade.
He's the Utley of the rotation, 100%. He's
Yeah.
the old man who
But
tells
he-
people
but
to
he
get off his
produces,
lawn.
yeah.
Oh well, yeah, but he produces. But I think I have to go with the B plus because now I got to add the plus and minus
The
grades
little
just because
minus, yeah.
it gets Brooks' hand shaking a little
Yeah.
bit. But it was more based on his antics than his performance for me. the running, the slide, the he got a cult jersey following on,
Yeah.
on Twitter where
yeah.
people Dick Hill swapping they're swapping Dick Mountain jerseys. There's your quote, swapping Dick
Swapping Dick
Mountain
Mountain
jerseys.
jerseys.
But yeah, he was just a steady veteran presence. I bring to you presence. That this rotation needed. That was starting to transition to younger people and not sure what we had Kershaw. So I'm all about Richie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Ryu. What are you giving Ryu?
Babe Ruth, as we see here on the screen, being either sneezing or I'm not sure quite what it is.
I think that's right after he's tore his groin.
Yeah. This was,
Too soon?
he's about to breathe fire.
He's
I
either
think is what
sneezing
he's
or
gonna
he
do.
stubbed his toe. That's the same look. And sorry if everybody listening to the podcast. This means nothing to you. But Ryu, I'm giving him a B. Wait, Brooks here. I'm gonna give him a B.
Yeah, you gotta be plus or minus.
No,
You gotta
give him a
figure
B
it out. Yeah.
he reminded us what he was capable of this season. He showed why he was like co-ace 3 with Kershaw and Greinke back in the day. Plus, he became Babe Ruth.
He did.
He hit like over 400, 19 home runs. It was a freak injury that knocked him out, but his bookends were great with him to have an ERA of under it was a 1.97 in 15 starts. Plus, again, I grade these on regular season, but that game 1 start just set the table. It pissed off Kershaw and made him do so much more betters in game 2 against Atlanta. But yeah, I love the man.
Yeah, I
glad
also
he's back.
Yeah.
Super glad he's back.
Same. I was worried he was going to go somewhere else, so I'm very happy he's back. I gave him a B. He had a 197 ERA this year, 89 strikeouts and limited 82 innings. The playoffs, he was very good in that first series. The NLDS, he looked great, and it was kind of the story the whole season, including the playoffs, was when he pitched at home. He was good. When he pitched on the road, it was a little different. The playoffs, his ERA was 5.43. He had 20 strikeouts in 18 innings. He wasn't super impressive over the playoffs, but I'll give him the B just because he was almost another ace during the season when he was pitching at Dodger Stadium. So for Hyun-Jin Ryu, I'll give him that solid B.
Oh.
Yeah, I think if he had pitched a full season and didn't rip off his leg or whatever it was that he did, I think he's getting an A easily. But just because of the injury, I'm gonna give him a B as well. I think everyone's just getting a B from me. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah,
here. I think the Dodgers just get a B for the year.
Yeah.
I think essentially is what we're going at. But he did. He cut his. I don't know if you guys noticed. He cut his walk per 9 innings in half for his career. Essentially, he had like 1.6 per 9.
Give him a desk bell.
And he had the highest strikeouts per 9 innings of his entire career, which is only 5 seasons if you're not counting the injury season. But he had like almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, and I think he did a lot better than anybody else thought he was going to do. I don't think anyone pictured him being the number 3 guy in a rotation that consisted of all these hot shot flamethrowers and a couple old men, but no one expected it from him. And so he came up big, and he also helped save our season. There were a couple guys at different times who helped save our season.
We did have multiple season savers there. Actually, the next guy we're going to talk about was a big part of saving our season early on, Mr. Ross Stripling.
Our boy Chicken Strip.
Mr. Chicken Strip there.
Chicken Strip. I'm going to lead it. I called him.
Lead us off.
He was kind of the original savior of the rotation. But also, I'm giving him a B- for being like, I'm calling him like the War Machine or like the Green Lantern of our rotation. People don't overly care that he's there, but he shows up and he helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the lesser good of your insert favorite comic.
He's like
brand.
the Avengers, but he's more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than he is.
How dare you? We got renewed for a 7th season.
He's Hawkeye.
He is
There you
Hawkeye.
go. He's Hawkeye.
He's Hawkeye for
There
sure.
you go. I'll give it. That's a couple points, and
That's a good one. There you go.
I think Brooke just won game night now.
Yeah. There you go.
So
you go.
proud of you.
Thank you.
So
it.
for
That's my
me,
review.
I had Ross Stripling. I thought he was, again, he helped save the season this year. He had a 3.02 ERA. He was an all-star, and then the all-star game broke him. 136 strikeouts and 122 innings. That's a great rate. That's the kind of thing you want to see. I gave him a B-. Part of that was the fact that he had kind of deteriorated so much at the end of the year that they didn't even put him on any of the playoff rosters. That's
Yes.
kind of a real telling sign when Madsen gets on there and you don't. So yeah, I felt like he would have had a B+ or an A had he kind of continued that.
Oh, he definitely would have been an A guy if he was able to.
if he had continued that trajectory. But yeah, the drop off at the end of the year knocked his grade down a little bit. But again, he helped save our season early on, so he gets a B-.
So before we get to Brooks' grade on him, I want to say that we're catching some flack in the stream about giving everybody Bs. And I want to note, Bs are good, and we had a very good rotation. We were I think we had, once again, the best rotation in baseball.
Yeah.
But nobody was exceptional, which is why they get Bs. That's the way it works. Bs is you didn't do everything that was the most good.
We'll give everybody A's and F's.
Yes.
Yeah,
How about that?
He's part of your pass no pass policy.
There you go.
Well,
You know
that's the
what?
thing. If we give A's and F's, people flip out because one, we're stupid for giving the F.
You can't
Two,
be-
Yeah,
we're
but that's so
stupid
much
giving
better for the
A.
producer.
You can't be extreme, but you can't be middle of the road.
No.
Yes.
No, we've
I'm
got
a notorious fence sitter. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I don't fall too far left, too far right. I'm just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
there.
Try
He's
not to
our.
piss anybody
He's
off.
honestly, he's our Ross Stripling.
Yeah.
You're our Stripling.
Speaking of
You're
which,
our Ross
I
Stripling.
gave him a C plus.
Oh
Wow.
man,
There you go.
take that stream.
Stupid stream.
Can't play, but yeah. Thanks for hanging out and participating with us, Mikey. He says can't spell best without B.
That's
a
true.
good
That's
point.
a good point. You
And
do
we're
need a B
learning.
in there.
And we're
Otherwise,
learning.
it's just est
That's
or something.
So what is your estimated
Highly
grade?
quotable.
How does it add up to?
I'll tell
to a
you,
C?
he had a great first half. Obviously,
Mhm.
absolutely deserving of a very high grade. But he pissed me off.
Scandal.
He pissed me
Uh-oh.
off.
Did he block you?
No, I don't even know if he has social media. And if he does, I don't.
Did you
follow
run
on
into him in
anything.
Monrovia and he just kind of
He was
blew
with
you off?
Belcher. No,
Belcher
no,
and Stripling
he
power
gave
couple.
he gave me too much hope for the season. Ross Stripling to me is representative of the entire Dodgers team,
Oh.
except in reverse. So he started the season super strong,
Yeah.
and then essentially died.
He was like,
Yeah.
I did enough.
He essentially became one of those, old school pitching arms that just like flings the ball at you. I mean, he couldn't find the strike
It's like-
zone. I think his toe broke or something didn't his toe break or
I
something
don't
happen
know.
with
Yeah.
he got like Logan Forsythe toe or something like that.
I think he was too busy with his side business, his side
Yeah.
hustle. He got famous for being a
he's
Wall
selling
Street guy.
stocks and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, he got
He's
really wrapped
walking
up in
around
Wall
like-
Street. Yeah.
Yeah, thinking he's better than everybody.
The
Oh,
Wolf
this-
of Dodger Stadium.
I think that's what happened. I think his stocks took a hit and it just got to him.
Ooh, I can see
fair.
that happening.
That's
We've
the
all-
next
We've
article.
all been there? Question mark.
I don't even
Well,
know
he's
how to
our
buy
he's our
stocks.
BP pitcher next year, right?
Again, we can't give out B's.
Oh, that's right.
He's our
He's our
No,
CP.
that's me. I really don't know what we're gonna do with him. But this is not the episode where we start talking about
Oh,
what
no.
to do with the rotation. But
yeah.
yeah,
We're just giving grades.
grades.
All B's.
Well,
Stay in line, students.
here's one that's not going to be a B. We have Alex Wood. There he is, right here.
There we
Alex
go.
Wood.
A for Alex.
Wood. There's
Uh,
an exploding.
Not an A for Alex. So for Alex Wood, he had a 3.68 ERA this year, 135 strikeouts in 151 innings. Sorry, not 151 games.
They
in
had
the
an
playoffs.
impressive year.
Wow.
Real impressive year. This is a picture of him after
Yeah.
after a playoff start. In the playoffs, he pitched in 8 games. He had a he pitched in 9 games with a 6.47 ERA, 9 strikeouts in 7.1 innings. That is not good, kids. That is real not good.
Not exceptional.
No. And Alex Wood gets a C- from me. I was not impressed with him this year. Granted, my expectations might have been a little higher based off of what I saw last year. He had a very good season last year, or at
Yeah.
least a very good half of the season, and
Yeah.
then he was solid in the playoffs. So I was really disappointed in what I saw. I feel like, and I've said this from the beginning, from when we got him, he reminds me a little bit of a poor man's Tim Lincecum in the sense that he has this real weird,
Yeah, he's a little wonky.
jerky wind-up and pitching motion, and
wonky.
it lends itself to a lot of error. And
Yeah.
I kind of saw that manifest itself this year as he just was very hittable. But he did enough and pitched well enough in enough games to where I wouldn't give him like a D or an F. So he gets a C- from
No,
me.
he doesn't get the D from me. What do you give him?
I won't give Alex Wood the D.
I'm not giving him a B.
Hey, all I do is win,
There
win.
we go. Yeah, I think Alex Wood is one of those guys that, for me, has never really impressed me. He's more been a stopgap guy for me, a guy who fills in, as it were, makes spot starts.
Would you say he don't impress me much?
He don't impress
Takes
me much.
takes awkward pictures at weddings.
Takes very awkward pictures
Yeah.
at weddings. He also happens to look identical to one of my friend's brothers, and every time I see
Oh,
his
we
face
can't
on TV, I'm like, we
don't
can't
like
do that.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
like this. This is not good.
He's not a good guy to drink with. We
No,
would
yeah.
assume.
He's the guy that doesn't bring the beer.
So what's your grade?
Yeah, good question. He's around a C, and that's kind of giving him a little extra.
See
you know.
that means he wants to give him a C minus.
I
but
do.
he has painted
But I'm
himself.
sticking-
Tell you what,
I'm
do you
sticking
want
to
it-
my standards?
Do you want to give him a D plus?
You're not roping me into this, man.
Alex Wood.
Alex Wood C.
Same.
Alex Wood doesn't get the D.
Samesies here. I'm giving him a C, but I'm saying it's not like a good C like I gave Kershaw.
Soft C.
Yeah, it's a soft C. It seemed like
soggy
he
C.
seemed to be battling. Oh God!
Sailed
It
a
started
soggy
picturing
sea.
so many things.
A flaccid C.
A flaccid C.
He just seemed to be battling like uphill all season. The only reason I gave him even that high is that he was kind of the rotation workhorse. He started 27. He led the team in starts. He led them in innings. But yeah, I mean that's great. But it just something was missing. Something was missing all season, and that's
Yeah.
why he got bumped. And then he never did anything exceptional out of the bullpen, and that's why I keep including him in all of my trades for literally
Yeah.
anybody. He doesn't make sense for this.
Well, and
team.
because he'll be, if you're a team that just needs a stopgap as you're rebuilding, Alex Wood's a solid pitcher to have on your team. It's a team-friendly contract. He's a workhorse. He's going to eat up a lot of innings, and he's not going to give up a ton of runs. Like he had a 3.68 ERA this year. That's
Yeah.
not terrible. It's sub-4.
It is not the most worst.
It's not the worst. So teams
the
that are
worst.
watching us right now on the live stream that are rebuilding, let us know. Let
Give
us know
us
in
a
the
call.
comments
Yeah.
below, and
As
we
you-
will trade you.
We'll happy
Alex
work out a
Wood.
deal.
Yeah, as you
Yes,
all
we
know,
will.
We don't have a GM right now.
We
so.
are the
Yeah,
Dodgers.
We're
This is-
we're handling it now.
Yeah, it
Actually,
says
three
right
of us
there.
are
It
handling
says- it
GM
says
duties.
Dodgers. That means it's us.
A side note right
Exactly.
now, the Diamondbacks just signed Kelby Tomlinson. So
Oh,
that's worth to
stop! Everybody, stop the presses. Evans, get this article out immediately.
yeah, I actually think they signed
Evans, you have 10
They
minutes.
signed him, but they didn't sign his glasses. So his glasses.
Oh, but that was his
Aw,
spirit.
Snapple.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do.
All right, finally, our boy Kenta-san Maeda, seen here. I think that's his
That's Mrs.
mistress.
Maeda.
Is that what
That's
his wife?
his
Yeah.
wife or his mistress. I'm not too sure. Kenta-san, the true swingman of the rotation, giving him a B minus. Never seemed overly locked in, but stayed relatively healthy, and did whatever the rotation asked of him, or whatever the front office asked of him. Despite it meaning that he would be costing himself literally millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I just put out a post on this on the DodgersNation.com. So
Yeah,
go check
go
out my
check that
post, by the way.
He
And
did
then
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like.
So what are you giving him? What's your
I gave him a B minus.
B minus? Okay, that's real close to mine. I gave him a C plus. Kenta gets a C plus for me. 3.81 ERA, 153 strikeouts in 125 innings. Was average-ish in the playoffs. 3.25 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, and pitched in 8 games. So they definitely used him a lot. He becomes that bullpen guy in the playoffs. I didn't see the life on the fastball that I saw last year in the playoffs. I didn't see that kind of fire and intensity that I saw last year. I just kind of saw a guy who was going through the motions and waiting to go home to Mrs. Hello Kitty Maeda. And so
I took it off the screen.
and because that was the
Well, you missed it. It was on the screen.
Yeah, you missed that, producer
It's less
Gary.
bad.
That was
Now no one knows what's going on at all.
See what happens when he give him free reign.
It's true. Because he's part of the Sanrio Mafia. All right, anyways, I gave him a C plus. Brooke, what about you?
Kenta is my first plus or minus, guys.
What?
He is getting.
There's no crash.
ding.
There's
okay.
no crash.
He's getting a B.
Oh.
He's getting a B minus.
Wow.
What?
Was that me? Oh, you do have that.
Yeah, I got everything.
He is
Because I'm money, son.
right. He's one of those guys. I would agree. I never really saw peak performance from him. I never really saw him as garbage, i.e., Alex Wood.
Yeah.
But he had his highest strikeouts per 9 innings of his career. He also had his highest walks per 9 innings of his career. He was kind of just all around all the time.
Yeah, he was dominant at times, and with that, especially with that changeup, it kind of came to be.
Yeah.
But it didn't come to every game.
I was at a game in September where he
That
gave
was a
up.
good story.
He gave up it was. He gave up a 3-run shot to Nimmo
I
against the
remember that
Mets,
game.
and I was at that game and I
yeah.
was pissed. And I just remember thinking, "This is it for him. I never want to see him again." And then two games later, he pitched like 4 shutout innings, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Crap." So that pretty much sums
I
up the B
I
minus.
like him again.
That's why he gets the B minus
All right, fair enough.
For his first plus or minus.
and last.
Not terrible.
The hell. Producer almost ate soup.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway.
All right. One last note. I like doing this at the end of the show. So one of
Yeah,
my
don't
favorite
say.
places on the internet is the subreddit thread Shower Thoughts. This is where aspiring online philosophers gather to share their most intimate musings and thoughts while washing their genitals.
Reasonable.
The
Good place to
Huffington
do it.
Post, which does a great job with this, compiles a lot of the best of the week. So I periodically kind of like to look and find my favorites in there. So a couple of these are some of my favorite shower thoughts for the week. So we've got Tetris is life. Mistakes pile up and achievements disappear. That's 100% accurate. That is life.
Yeah.
We've got cheese is just a loaf of milk.
That's true.
That's
a
real
Good
accurate.
point. Yeah.
Your skull doesn't have a facial expression. Your flesh just moves around it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've all been there. We all have flesh, am I right?
Well, mine might.
Mash that heart button if you have flesh.
We've all had flesh. Those of you with flesh, let us know in the comments below. All right. Consistently skipping a song on your favorites list is kind of like realizing you don't like a friend as much as you thought you did.
We've all been
That's
there.
often. That's often. Yeah.
That's
These two are
that's
friends.
good, Kevin.
Kids today will never know the excitement of going to Blockbusters on a Friday after school to rent a
Oh.
VHS for the weekend.
I've seen that one.
No, they will
Remember
not.
back when you used to be able well, this is before his time. Remember you used to be able to go to Blockbuster and like rent a Nintendo 64?
Yeah, you can rent a video game system for the weekend.
How old
and
are you guys?
Eh?
Moving on, in 40 years, some of the
I'm
recipes,
this many.
some of the recipes that we stole from food blogs will be known as old family recipes by our grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
A cactus is just a really aggressive cucumber.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
That's true.
wrong.
Yeah.
And my favorite of this batch, saying ASAP is saying ASAP as soon as possible.
Wow,
ASAPly.
That's really what we're ending on.
That's what I'm ending on.
How dare you?
And that's it.
You sullied this fine show. But you can find more of
You're
us on
welcome.
DodgersNation.com and on the Internet Machine. Subscribe to Blue Heaven on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM. Like, we're all of these places. It's super cool. Or on these live streams. We're Periscope, Twitch, on Facebook, of course, again. And there's another YouTube. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? How you
Yeah.
doing?
Also, remember, we interact with everybody before the show, so we do a pregame show before we start.
Yeah, this
the
one time we did
podcast.
today. Yeah, that was totally cool. Yeah.
And that's going to kind of be the thing
one
going
time.
forward. So don't feel like we're ignoring you if we're just kind of talking. This is just kind of like the feel of the show for those of you on the live stream.
All right, totally gonna cut all that out.
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter, I am RealFRG. That is Kev as your friend. Over there is BrookMe3, because we never forget that. That's Brooke without an E.
Without
Also-
an E.
Also,
Also.
he's a dude.
He also
I'm a
goes
dude.
by @DiamondHoggers, and that's his burner account.
that
and
is
that's
my
where
burner
he
account.
just really goes
That's where
after
that's
people.
where I hype myself up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because
And he gives
apparently
out.
I'm a darling or something like that.
Yeah, he's a beaut.
Thanks, Evans.
All right, I guess that's it for podcast side. We're going in that by podcast. You guys want anything else in live stream? Or we good? We good? You guys got anything? We're gonna say peace. We're gonna say peace be with you. We're gonna go
Yes.
ahead and say
Peace be the journey.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
yeah. Oh yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. That's the
Turkey
thing.
Day.
That is some really like demented turkey.
It's like that's
That's
terrifying
not me. That's just a turkey running around.
You know
the,
the gift box or whatever of like the ugly vegetables. Is that when you go get the like Chernobyl turkey?
You get the Chernobyl turkey. It's got 6 heads and 2 vaginas.
Bye.
That's
Bye.
it for us, folks.
Bye live stream.
Bye, everybody.